I want to do a bit of a home update because I don't show my home all that much. I mean, I have to some extent, but not maybe as much as other YouTubers does. It kind of feels like inviting you here, and I mean, it's you, babes. We're friends, but there might be someone who wouldn't be invited. Point is that even though I don't maybe show it all that much, I do stuff around the home all the time. I started the year out by making a video called 2024 Interior Design Resolutions or something along those lines. And one of the things that I said was that you should make it a habit of decluttering your space. And I don't think I said purge specifically in that video, but a purge in my mind is different to a declutter. Because a declutter is that you just constantly, slowly but surely get rid of the little things, you know, the clutter. But a purge is a much bigger project. It requires you to go through absolutely everything that you own.
That includes the bags where you store everything that you might need for later.
This can be a huge project, so it's something that you need to maybe do over time, and I have been craving doing that with my space. I don't know if you've noticed, but recently there's a lot of decluttering closet videos on YouTube, and I don't know if it's just like a trend or if it's just this time of year. Maybe people are swapping wardrobes as the seasons change, but for me anyway, it should be about just like kind of getting a realistic overview of what I own. So I freaking did that. I think the one thing that most of us usually have a lot of and probably accumulate quite quickly is clothes. Over the last 3 years, I haven't really been shopping clothes all that much. I'm still hanging on to this, which is my sales bag. All of the clothes that's in here are either mine, some of them are my sister's, some of them are my boyfriend's, and it's all the clothes that we don't want or need anymore, but that we could potentially sell. I have limited time every week, but I don't want to spend any of that time selling clothes online. And so my tactic is to sell clothes at like flea markets. And in Oslo, there is one particular market that's called the Fashion Archives, which I've sold at their market many times. And I've gotten to know the girls, so occasionally I help out. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow in order to get rid of as much clothes as possible. But then I might just donate the rest because I'm kind of tired of hanging on to this like sales bag, but it is a convenient thing to do should you be in the same position. And you know, if you never sold at a market before, it's kind of fun. It is dangerous though, because oftentimes I want to buy other people's things. So I kind of have a rule that I don't spend any money on these markets. I'm only there to make money. I try to be very mindful about the things that I buy and bring into the home. I've been pretty like on top of things. We have in our apartment building 2 storages, one in the basement and one in the attic. And the attic storage space has kind of become this like burial site for all the things that don't make the cut in terms of being in the apartment. In an ideal world, I only own the things that's in the apartment, but I try to be a little bit realistic about the fact that not everything can fit in the apartment. That's why you have storage.
This is my nemesis. Out of sight, out of mind, no.
That doesn't work for me. Knowing that I have a bunch of things that I don't need, that I don't miss, that I don't use, that I don't know why I'm keeping, it's just kind of like cluttering my brain a little bit.
I'll deal with it later kind of things. And well, I'm dealing with it today. Now my issue honestly is that I spend too much time with each item. Like, oh wow, I haven't seen this in a while. Like decluttering your closet, you end up putting on clothes and trying on outfits instead of actually getting the job done. And so trying to give myself 40 minutes and just like be really strict, like I'm gonna be fucking hard ass. Oh, pillow covers. God. I have to consider like how much effort do I want to put into trying to sell this. If it's not gonna make me any good money, I will donate.
Now, my biggest issue with decluttering or purging is the actual act of disposing of the things that you're decluttering from your space. And so I set a date, I got a car, and I recruited my boyfriend as carrying help, and we just like blocked out an entire day and said, okay, on Saturday it's happening. Maybe the best thing I've done for my home this year. If you've been thinking about something of the same, I kind of want to declutter, kind of want to get rid of stuff, just do it. There are certain things around the home that sometimes needs to get done, and it's so easy to put them off and just kind of never get around to do it. And I've had one of those. So I was minding my own business, and then suddenly I hear a massive bang. Which is never good. And it turns out that our kitchen fan had just kind of fallen out of the wall. The wall that our kitchen fan was mounted on is the same wall that the entrance door to the building is. And we have a really old entrance door, and so unless you catch it when you close it, it slams shut, which makes the walls vibrate. And I think it's like over time that just kind of pushed the freaking fan out of the wall, which is just silly. As a result, I kind of placed it on a chair in the kitchen and thought to myself, well, I'm gonna deal with that later this week. And fast forward 2 months, I still hadn't dealt with it. So I got around to finally putting that up, and the footage of it, it's not cute. I mean, it's dirty, just a mess, but I hung it up, I cleaned it. So that's a little bit boring, but a home update nonetheless. I might say, oh, just do it, just get it done, just do stuff all the time. You might have like a light bulb that you need to change. I actually do have a light bulb that I need to change. But I've dealt with the attic, I've dealt with the kitchen fan, and 2 out of 3, I think that's pretty good. In the midst of all of this, I have managed to do some traveling. So I actually went to Finland for work. I've never been to Finland before, and I had so many big plans of vlogging that. I thought it would be a fun vlog. As it turns out, I'm not a very good vlogger because I'm too much in the moment. Like, I have a few clips, but then I forget to talk to the camera, you know, it doesn't make sense. So instead, I thought I'd just share with you today. After I finished up with work, I spent one day or like one night in Helsinki, and Helsinki was really nice. I would like to go back. Finland has not been on my radar as a place to travel. Usually when I travel, I like to go to museums, like bars and restaurants, but when I have very short period of time, I usually feel like I need to prioritize. And so I prioritized going to vintage shops. I went to the Artek one, which was amazing. It was nice to see some of these more famous designs in real life, because I've only ever seen them online. And so that was kind of cool. It was kind of like being in a museum, except that you could buy everything. I was traveling with hand luggage, so I was only window shopping, but definitely worth a visit if you're in Helsinki. And then I went to an antique store, which was really cool because it was kind of like a big basement. It was huge, and they had so much good glassware, tableware, really good lamps, just like an amazing selection of things. So if I had had like an actual suitcase and like bubble wrap or something, I think I would have gone crazy in there, because the prices was very good and the selection was incredible. So I highly recommend going there if you have the option. I did buy one thing. Actually, let me get it. There's this like charity shop open in Oslo. I only knew about their small location that's in the city center, but they actually have like a big one a little bit outside of the city center that I discovered kind of what I was in the area for work again, constantly working, and it was a pleasant surprise. So while I was there, let's see what's called Me Secondhand. And anyway, I went there and I got this like candle holder, and it is by a Swedish producer called Nybro. And I think this is very nice. Then when I went to this antique shop in Finland, keep wanting to say Scotland, I found another one, and it's by the same brand. It's just a little bit taller. So, and there was a third one as well, which was even taller. For some reason, I only bought one, annoyingly. So now I have two, and I will keep my eyes peeled for a third. And together, I paid 10 euros. 2 for this and 8 for this. Good deal, no? This was the only home decor piece that I thrifted in Helsinki. Then from Finland, I traveled to Gothenburg because I was dog sitting. So I kind of went Oslo, Helsinki, Gothenburg. And this was also supposed to be part of the vlog that I never made. The first time I went to Gothenburg, I came across this shop called No Name Vintage, which is one of my favorite vintage shops. Big shout out. Since then, he's closed down his store in the city and opened up as part of a warehouse called Forum Göteborg, or like Forum Gothenburg, which is basically just a collection of vintage dealers who all have their own stalls in a massive warehouse. There's no online shopping, you have to go there. And so that was on my agenda, and it was friggin' amazing. The thing I was looking for, because I constantly have a list of items that I'm looking for. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of slow decoration, and a big part of slow decoration is the fact that it takes time. As I'm mainly thrifting items, it's a bit of a waiting game finding the perfect piece. A couple of videos ago, when I told you I thrifted a vintage credenza, which had also been on that list, I kind of said that this area next to me here was missing something. In this corner right here, I would ideally like to have a cool table lamp. I don't have that at the moment. Now, I'm a huge fan of table lamps and lamps in general. It's very dangerous to say you have favorite things, but I have two favorites: lamps and chairs. Those are my two kind of, those are my two halves that together create a heart.
I love lamp. I love lamp.
I've been on the lookout for a very specific, I wouldn't say specific design, more like a specific look. And I don't know if you have this, but for me, I get a feeling in my body when I see the thing I'm looking for that I don't know that I'm looking for until I see it. Do you know what I mean by that? Do you have the same? Maybe you have it about clothing or something else, but for me that's within interior design or like furniture. I know I'm looking for something within a category, but I don't know exactly what it is until I see it. And I found it. Ta-da! I think I kind of touched upon it in my last video that came out way too late, by the way. It took me forever to edit that video. But basically, as it's getting darker in Norway, lighting and candles and all of this is so important. And as with any interior design enthusiast, I strongly advocate against using the ceiling light. And in the living room, we don't actually have any downlights or anything. We have one ceiling light above the dining table, and other than that, we are playing with different light sources. So this is more of an like an accent lamp, I guess, but it can be used as a task light as well. And this arm can be adjusted, so I can make it taller and longer, but I kind of like it in this angle here. It has 3 settings. It is by a Swedish brand called Atelja, or atelier, I never know how to pronounce it. And I did a video back in spring sometime where I talked about some of the items that's on my watch list for online thrifting. And I mentioned a lamp by this brand called Bumling, which is still like produced, you can buy it new. I obviously think it's more fun to buy them secondhand, but it's by the same brand. So I think it's kind of fun that I still ended up with something by them. Editing Joe here. I just wanted to add a little detail because out of curiosity I googled the lamp and they still make it today. On their website I could read that after a lighting exhibition in Copenhagen in 1970, the CEO of the brand Atelier Lyktan, Anders Persson, was asked by the Olympic organizers in Munich whether the company could send a proposal for a lighting solution for the Olympic Games of 1972. And that's when the concept of this lamp was developed, and it's called Simris, and you have it both as a floor and desk lamp. And now they've relaunched the table lamp. It's slightly modernized. It still has the cross joint, which is kind of been a significant part of the design since the beginning. But yeah, if you're interested, I'm gonna put the link in the description and you can go check it out. Now, I don't know how old my lamp is, but it could potentially be from the 70s, which is kind of fun. I made a video on lamps like 2 years ago, and I'm pretty fucking sure I showed one of these. This would be perfect on top of a credenza or like in your bookshelf, or if you have a desk. I love this. So it's kind of cool that I then just 2 years later see it and just get the feeling and then just buy it and take it on the bus from Sweden to Norway, and now it's here. Oh, that was annoying, but very freaking stoked about this lamp. Do you like it? Do you think it's cute? I think it's cute. I think I've rambled enough now. I do have another 2 big purchases slash home updates that I haven't shared in this video, and it's simply because they are for videos down the line. So I'm gonna leave you with that little teaser. Hopefully you're gonna want to come back. I would love it when we hang out, so I do hope that you want to, you know, stick around. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. It's just always so awkward saying bye, so you know what, I'll just catch you next time.